Good morning. If you're in the lobby and want to come in and sit down, now's a good time. It's a busy morning in here this morning. My name is Margaret Rush. I'm the congregational administrator standing in for a board member this morning, and I'm so pleased to see you all here. Thank you for coming. I know it's a gorgeous day outside, so you had choices of things to do today. This is First Unitarian Universalist Church, in case you weren't sure. We were begun in 1892 so that Richmond might have a liberal beacon. We continue to uphold that liberal beacon as a place of all people of goodwill are welcome, straight, gay, male, female, or other, rich, poor, youth, elder, hopeful, or downtrodden. All are welcome to this caring community. We invite you to stop by our visitors table on your way out. If you didn't stop on your way in, you can get more information, create a name tag, sign up for our email list. We're a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and we stand in solidarity with the other member congregations of our faith. If you're a visitor to Richmond, we encourage you to come back. Every service is different. All our ministers are different and scintillating, and we'd love to have you visit more than once. Coffee is available now during the between services. Sorry, still that's old school. Before services in the courtyard while the weather permits. And if you've got your telephones with you, please put them in worship mode. Again, welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church.
Good morning. I am the Reverend Sherman Z. Logan, Jr., and it is my honor and privilege to serve this wonderful congregation as this acting senior minister. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here in the Great Hall and watching us virtually to our worship service this morning. Joining me this morning is one of our assistant minister, Lauren Lebwood. And we also have with us this morning to share their musical gifts, Barry Ramsey and Hyatt Bain, and our singers. So friends, it's such a beautiful fall morning. And this place is special because of your presence. So welcome all of you to First Unitarian Universalist Church. So this morning, we are renewing a tradition. What is the tradition, Reverend Sherman? I would like to invite all of you who are visiting with us to introduce yourselves. I want to remind you that this service is being live streamed and recorded, so if you are comfortable and willing, please raise your hand, and the minister of the mic is Jamie. She will bring the mic to you, and you can tell us your name and where you're from. So as you're comfortable, raise your hand, and Jamie will come to you. Welcome. Dallas, okay.
Everything's there, and we came to Richmond to see the play Gabriel at the Firestone Theater that my brother, Firehouse Theater, that my brother wrote. So that's why we're in town.
Welcome.
And it has one more weekend to run, and it was an excellent play.
Welcome. All the way from Dallas.
Hold it like real quick.
Hi there, I'm Jill. I have lived in Richmond for a little over a year now, but my family's from Georgia, and this is my first time trying out any sort of service in a while. So, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. My name's Laura Lynn, and I'm here for the second time. Last week was my first visit, and I am from Austin, Texas.
Welcome.
Hi, Good morning. My name is Omar Sabat. I'm originally from Virginia Beach, but actually my parents are Egyptian, so I have a dual citizenship, but I was born here in Colorado. My dad, he has been a member in Denver for 30 or 40 years, and I've gone with him several times and really enjoyed it, and this is my second time here.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Pam Pomfret, and I moved here a year ago from Rhode Island, and boy, am I glad that you're in person now.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been waiting for that. And I've had the good fortune to be connected with Unitarian churches starting back 30 years ago or more in Burlington, Vermont, and also Providence, Rhode Island.
Welcome. All right. Jamie, I hope you wore your track shoes today. Okay. Is there another? I don't see any more hands. So welcome, visitors, and thank you so much for being with us this morning. This community is what it is because of your presence, and we are so glad that you are here. So now please rise and greet your neighbors and welcome our visitors. As we enter into the time of worship, please hear the words from Starhawk. Community means strength. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned. We can only catch the glimpses from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strengths to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Somewhere where we can be free. Now please rise in body or in spirit and let us sing our opening hymn, We Build a Land.
Build reciting this morning is called Belonging for Our Whole Selves. May the flame we now kindle light the path back to our center, back to that place of belonging to what is true, what is deepest within, what knows us even before we know ourselves. And may our chalice remind us that we are held and welcomed whole without the need to hide. And now for our opening reading. This is called Listening for Our Song by David S. Blanchard. On sabbatical in East Africa, I heard a story of a people who believe that we are created with our own song. Their tradition as a community is to honor that song by singing it as a welcome when a child is born, as comfort when the child is ill, in celebration when the child marries, and in affirmation and love when death comes. Most of us were not welcomed into the world in this way. Few of us seem to know our song. It takes a while for many of us to figure out which is our song and which is the song that others would like us to sing. Some of us are slow learners. I heard my song not necessarily from doing extraordinary things in exotic places, but also from doing some pretty ordinary things in some routine places. For example, for every phrase I heard climbing Kilimanjaro, I learned another in a chair at my therapist's office. For every measure I heard in the silence on a retreat, I heard another laughing with my girls. For every note I heard in the wind on the beach at Lamu, I gleaned more from spending time with a dying friend as her children sang her song back to her. What came to astound me was not that the song appeared, but that it was always there. I figure that the only way I could have known it for my own was if I had heard it before memory went to work making sense and order of the mystery of our beginning. Our songs sing back to us something of our essence, something of our truth, something of our uniqueness. When our songs are sung back to us, it's not about approval, but about recognizing our being and our belonging in the human family. It is good to know our songs by heart for those lonely times when the world is not singing back to us. That's usually a good time to start humming to yourself that song that is most your own. They can be heard as songs of love or longing, songs of encouragement or of comfort, songs of struggle or of security, but most of all, they are songs of life, giving testimony to what has been, giving praise for all we're given, giving hope for all we strive for, giving voice to the great mystery that carries each of us in and out of this world.
As we enter into this time of reflection, meditation, and prayer, hear the words from Jan Richardson, a blessing called Sanctuary. You hardly knew how hungry you were to be gathered in to receive the welcome that invited you to enter entirely. Nothing of you found foreign or strange, nothing of your life that you were asked to leave behind or to carry in silence or in shame. Tentative steps became settling in, leaning into the blessing that enfold you, taking your place in the circle that stunned you with its unimagined grace. You began to breathe again, to move without fear, to speak with abandon, the words you carry in your bones, that echoes in your being. You learn to sing. But the deal with this blessing is that it will not leave you alone, will not let you linger in safety or status. The time would come when this blessing would ask you to leave, not because it has tired of you, but because it desires for you to become the sanctuary that you have found. Spirit of life, love, and compassion, God of many mysteries beyond our naming, we welcome the presence of the Holy in this place as we are gathered today for a time of prayer. Guide us now as we're linked heart to heart in the stillness and calmness of this moment. O Holy One, we come before you this morning, lifting to you the joys and concerns, the hope and dreams of our lives. And we pray for this gathering of people that we may grow and flourish in love and grace for the purpose to which we are called. Hear our prayers for those who touch lives, have touched us, those who are in pain, those who are ill, those who grieve. May we touch their lives not only through our prayers, but through our lives and action as well. Guide us, bless us, uplift us, and hold us as we're called to create the beloved community where all souls are welcome and all feel that they belong. We are thankful for the blessings of our lives, always holding in our hearts gratitude for those things that bless us with their presence, forgiveness for the ways we have turned from those blessings, and willingness to be open ourselves to this beautiful world. Hear our prayers, those spoken and those hidden in our hearts, for we know for what it means to be answered would be different to every one of us. So we pray now in the names of all known and unknown, present and absent, remember and forgotten. We pray in the names of all the helpers of humanity. May this be so. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
So Barry and I are Hearts of Sound, and we're really happy that Jamie's joining us. Jamie Kilpatrick is joining us on cello.
Don't let your mind get weary and confuse your will. Be still, don't try. Don't let your heart get heavy, child, inside you. There's a strength that lies. Child, it's only time, it will go by. Don't look for love in faces, places, it's in you, that's where you'll find kindness. Don't lose your faith in me, and I will try not to lose faith in you. Don't put your trust in walls, 'cause walls will only crush you when they fall. They all will fall. Be here now, here now. Be here now, here now. Be here now, here now.
Good morning. I'm Joan Lewis, and today I'm speaking on behalf of the Cardinal School team and this month's recipient of our Share the Plate. For well over 20 years, our church has been in relationship with the students, teachers, and administrators at the Cardinal School. It is probably one of the poorest schools in Richmond, and we all know there is not equal funding for our public schools. To be able to help supplement what the students at Cardinal get, we work through CIS, Community in Schools. Our coordinator has asked for help with books and for us to come and read to the children, to work in the library, to work in the art room, to help out in the office. And she's also asked for monetary help to little ones. When they get to school, sometimes they have accidents, and very often they need changes of clothes. So that's one of the biggest expenses that we're covering, as well as special treats for the children, for rewarding their attendance and their academic behavior. We hopefully will be having our moneyless yard sale at Cardinal again this year. There are lots and lots of ways to get involved. We want you to come and work with us at Cardinal, but we also want you to dig deep into your pockets, and so we can share our plate and share our wealth and our treasures with the students and teachers at Cardinal. So for this month's Share the Plate, please be generous. Thank you.
So if you're here in person with us, baskets are coming around, and you can just drop your offering right in there. There are also ways to give that you'll see on the screens in front of you and online that you can do from the comfort of your own home.
A second reading this morning by Morgan Harper Nichols, You Belong. You belong on this journey just as much as anyone else, no matter how others sees you or how you have been made to think less of yourself. And this journey has not been easy, but this is also true. Beautiful strength and courage is rising up within you. The mere that you are here is a gift, no matter who doesn't seem to notice. And for all that is unknown, you are still free to have hope. And hope is an act of courage because you don't actually know how it plays out. You don't exactly know what lies around the bend. But you are free to trust. You will keep growing over and over again. The sun would rise, light will still pour in, and in the morning light, may you be reminded you belong. Wake up at the dawn and feel the indiscriminate warmth in the bird's early song. For perhaps, even without knowledge of what tomorrow looks like, you are here and it matters. You belong in this life. You belong on this journey just as much as anyone else, no matter how others sees you or how you have been made to think less of yourself.
I don't think this is on, is it?
It is now.
Okay. The words are on the screen, and you're welcome to join us, or if some of the words don't resonate for you, you're welcome to just let this fall gently on your ears.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Through many dangers, toils and snares, we have already come. 'Tis grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home.
Thank you, Hyde and Barry, for the beautiful rendition of Amazing Grace. Early in my marriage to Franca, we attended my family reunion at the family homestead where my mother grew up in Vernon Hill, Virginia, which is Halifax County, about 2.5 hours southwest of here. And at that reunion, there were at least 100 family members and friends that spanned several generations gathered at this annual event. My cousin, the DJ, plays soulful tunes that has almost everyone out of their seats grooving and line dancing to the electric slide, the Cupid Shupper. And my 80-year-old second cousin even got her groove on doing the wobble. My Uncle Harry roasted a hog and made his famous barbecue that, in my opinion, could hold its own to some of the barbecue joints here in Richmond. And my cousin, William Penn, continued the tradition of preparing the secret family recipe for Brunswick stew. And to this day, my wife, Franca, still swears that the mystery meat in the stew that I told her was chicken was actually some roadkill vomit. But I swear to y'all, it was chicken. I think. I didn't make it, so I don't know. And there were at least 5 6-foot-long tables filled with a variety of meats, fried seafood, fresh farm vegetables and fruit, potato salad, macaroni and cheese, casserole, desserts, and drinks. Almost every item one would expect to find at a black family reunion or cookout. And we didn't have hummus. And as my oldest granddaughter would describe the reunion, Papa, we had big fun, and fun indeed. Eating, dancing, playing games, fellowshipping and reuniting with family members that we hadn't seen for years, and meeting the next generations of youngsters. There was laughter, tears of joys, and stories of our family history and ancestor. And there was my cousin Danny holding court in his customary place under the old oak tree, telling his lies. I mean, tall tales. Now, while we're sharing the family memories, Franca seemed to be a bit perplexed. You see, this was her first time that she met many of my family relatives, and it was somewhat overwhelming to her. And as the stories were being told, she would whisper questions to me. What are they talking about? Who is Uncle Johnny? When did that happen? You did what? Now, my mother, the family matriarch, and some of the other elders in the family were tremendously patient with Franca, explaining the context of the story, just to clue her in. But still, inevitably, each explanation included the phrase, "Honey, you had to be there." Now, Franca appeared to be enjoying herself, meeting my relatives, hearing amusing stories, learning a little bit about my family's history, but I sensed that she was a bit frustrated. And while she felt welcome and made part of the family, on our ride back home, she told me, "Honey, I had a good time, but I felt like I was an outsider." Have you been there? Maybe you attended a family reunion with your partner. You find yourself in a conversation that started 10, 20, 30 years ago. And you see, I was picking up from where I left off from the last time I heard the stories, but Franca was trying to pick up on the stories that she heard for the first time. And you know, I get how she must have felt, because a few months later, after my family reunion, I attended an office party where Franca worked. I didn't know most of the people there, and they were sharing inside jokes. Everyone was laughing and having a good time, and I had no idea what was going on. You know, Franca's co-workers, they were friendly and went to great lengths to help me understand the jokes, but it didn't work. So just as Franca was told she had to be there when she heard my family stories, I was told the same thing. You had to be there. Now, you know, all of us has experienced a sense of not belonging, missing out, being on the outside, looking in. Think about the first day in a new school, the first day in a new job, going as someone +1 to a wedding of a person you don't know? Or how about the time in elementary school when you're on the playground and you were the last person to be chosen by the team captain to play kickball? How about in high school when you were one of those kids who didn't make the team, the choir or the band, and weren't allowed to sit at the lunch table with the cool kids or the jocks? I think that we all can agree that it's no fun to be left out. None of us enjoy to be excluded. None of us feel like we don't belong. Now, have you ever felt that way here at First UU? You walk past a dozen of people in the lobby on a Sunday morning before you get a hello or good morning. Or you're a visitor or a new member at coffee hours, standing in the midst of many conversations that's going on that you're not included. Like everyone knows something you don't, and you're just kind of watching. You feel like you're on the outside looking in, like you don't belong. Beloved, we all want to feel like we belong, and it doesn't matter where we're from, how we were raised, or what our story is. We all have one thing in common. We share the basic human needs of wanting to belong. And if you think about it, our need to belong is not necessarily rational, but it's a constant that exists across all people of all cultures. And when we feel like we belong, we feel connected and safe. We crave that feeling of belonging and to seek it out. And sometimes our desires to feel accepted is so powerful that we go through great lengths, and we may do irrational things or spend more time than we can afford emotionally or spiritually just to get that feeling of belonging. So lately, I've been reading a few blogs by Brené Brown and her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, on the topic of belonging. She said that during her years of research, she has revealed that we humans are biologically, cognitively, and physically and spiritually wired to love and be loved. But belonging is not as easy as it sounds, and it's actually take hard work. So if you want to belong, you must be willing to do the hard work. And belonging is not the same as simply showing up or signing up. It's not the matter of transferring your membership, renewing a subscription, crossing the aisle. But according to Brown, belonging is the innate human desire to be part of something that's larger than us. You know, we desperately want to belong to something bigger than ourselves, and we want it so badly that we'll sometimes do whatever it takes to achieve it by just trying to fit in, just trying to seek approval. But fitting in is just a hollow substitute for belonging, eroding true belonging. And belonging means to be accepted someplace for who you are, where fitting in means that you have to change who you are in some ways to be accepted. And since belonging is feeling that we get when we are a recipient of unconditional love and we're loved for who we are. And belonging can happen under conditions such as we are gathering in a community that value us just the way we are. Whether through unconditional love or accepting the community, feeling like we belong is a powerful experience. So I read this quote from Brené Brown, and it really resonated with me. She said, "I was so shocked to learn that the opposite of belonging is fitting in. Because fitting in is accessing a group of people and changing who you are. But true belonging never asks us to change who we are. It demands us to be who we are." So, you know, when I started as the church business manager 14 years ago, I felt I had to change who I am to fit in. You see, there was one well-intentioned member who complained to Reverend Jean that my voice on the answer machine didn't represent First UU. There was another time when, after hearing me preach, another well-intentioned member suggested that I take speech lesson. And there was another time someone told me, "You sound too black." So I decided if I wanted to fit in, I need to follow these folks' advice. So I went to see a speech therapist, spent hours practicing how to preach and sound like a UU minister. And a few weeks later, after I preached, a member came to me and said, "Reverend Sherman, I didn't see you preaching today." So in my astonishment, I replied, "What do you mean you didn't see me?" He said, "That wasn't you. That was the imposter up there on the chancel, and the congregation needs to see you." So at that point, a light bulb went off in my head, and I had an aha moment. And even with my warts, my imperfection, my strange dialect, it was the moment that I decided to be my authentic self, and I couldn't be anyone else but me. And that was the day when I really felt that I belonged here at First UU. And 14 years later, what you see is what you get. And you know, Brene Brown said this: "I get to be me, I belong. If I have to be like you, I fit in." So I don't want to fit in, I want to belong. And I want every soul that walks through our doors to feel like they don't have to fit in to belong, to be a part of this community. We want your authentic self. Whatever your race, ethnicity, gender identity, religious belief, your theology, your social economic status, your political ideology, your quirks or your idiosyncrasy, you belong here. And I don't want you to feel that you're just welcome here. I don't want you to fit in. I want you to be your authentic self, because you belong to this community. And belonging is being somewhere where they want you, and fitting in is being somewhere where you want to be, but they don't care one way or another. Belonging is being accepted for who you are, and fitting in is being like everyone else. Now, being accepted for who you are doesn't mean that you have to be perfect and that you're not going to be challenged to grow and change. And as a significant part of this faith community, we are challenged to grow, to change, to transform, and sometimes live in discomfort. And our third UU principle states that we affirm and promote acceptance of one another and encouragement of spiritual growth. And part of our spiritual growth is the willingness to learn and discover new things, to learn to relate to others that might be different from us, and to accept our differences. Accept folks for who they are and love them for who they are. Now, I know it's human nature to want to belong, and we sometimes settle for fitting in, and that would cause the problems. And in this faith community, we're not immune to this. In fact, we may be susceptible to it all. And we live in a time when true belonging is becoming rare and more desperately needed, and it's always taken an extraordinary act of courage to experience true belonging, and it is hard work. So as we welcome folks into this faith community, we have to have the courage to accept them as who they are, even with their warts and imperfections. We must be willing to accept people who are different from us, to accept the differences and to celebrate our commonality. And to belong in this community, we are in covenant with each other, and we have to respect the inherent worth and dignity of all souls. We have to learn how to listen and have hard conversation, look for joy, share pain, and be more curious than defensive, all while seeking moments of togetherness. And if we are willing to do those things, we'll go a long way of building and transforming the beloved community into a place where all souls are welcome, included, accepted, and they belong here, right now. Now, I know everything won't be perfect, and things might not go precisely the way we want them to be, and at times we will be uncomfortable. But being uncomfortable doesn't mean you don't belong here. And I know that belonging is not the same for everyone. It takes all forms and shape. But it's my sincere hope that when we come into this faith community, that you don't have to feel that you have to fit in to be a part of this community. It's my hope that when you walk through these doors or join us virtually, you have that special feeling of belonging, a place where you belong, a place where the children belong, a place where our elders belong. And I want all you to know that you all belong here, right now. May that be so. Amen.
we extinguish the chalice with these words by John O'Donohue. May the frames of your belonging be large enough for the dreams of your soul. May you know the eternal longing which lives at the heart of time. May you allow the beauty, the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you, mind you, and embrace you in belonging.
Thank you, Lauren. I have a couple of announcements before we give the benediction. I want to make sure that the new transgender school policy on your radar, and I hope that our voices can be heard, because the policy is not only devastating to our youth, but also our teachers. And so there's a period of public comment that starts tomorrow for the next 30 days, and you can weigh in with the Virginia Department of Education to express your concerns about this new 2022 model policy regarding treatments of transgender students in state's public schools. And the policy will require parents of transgender students request their child's school address as such. Their name, pronoun changes will also require requests from the parents, as well as official legal document and court order to notice the change. So, friends, for the next 30 days, let your voice be heard. I just spoke about belonging, and our first principle is the inherent worth of all people. And so our trans youth are people too, and they need to be respected. They need to be felt that they belong. So reach out to Virginia Department of Education in the next 30 days and let your loud voices be heard, because in 14 years that I've been here, I know we have loud voices, and we're going to fight, and we're going to fight for what is right for the community. Okay, you notice these beautiful pieces of artwork up here on the chancel. So guess what? After a 2-year hiatus, gallery's back. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with gallery, it's our annual art show and craft show. And this year we have over 4,000 works from more than 150 of our Commonwealth finest artists. So I invite you to attend opening night Wednesday at 5 p.m. and the show lasts through next Sunday. And we also need volunteers. So if you could be so kind, I know we had a volunteer fair last week, so if you are inclined to and have the time to do so, after the service, please go into the lobby, and there's a table there where you can sign up to volunteer to help out during the gallery. And bring your wallets and pocketbooks on Wednesday night, because I know there's some pent-up desire to spend money after 2 years. And your contribution won't only help and support the artists, but will help and support this congregation. So we hope to see you there on Wednesday night at 5 o'clock. Okay. Now will you please rise in body and spirit as I give the benediction. The words are from my colleague, Sean Parker Dennison. At this moment of ending, may there be a good word, a blessing, to help us remember what we have so often forgotten. May this message we need be gently spoken and held in the spaces in our own selves, the fiber that holds all. We need to maintain our gentleness, our courage, and our hope. At this moment of ending, may the goodness we wish for ourselves and for each other, this community and ecosystem, the planet and stardust galaxy, become such a part of us that we cannot tell where the blessing ends and where we began. So friends, go now in hope, go now in love, go in peace. May this be so. Amen, Ashe, blessed be. And let us sing our closing hymn, Do What the Spirit Say Do. And you all better do what the Spirit say do. So I want to hear you sing real loud.
Turn the mic on, Jim. Wireless mic? Thanks. Oh, yeah. Hello. All right, so this one. All right, so follow the words. Every verse on this song, it's a zipper song. Just sing one word changes every verse. So follow what's going on. It starts with do.